The stresses of an author, otherwise known as the never-ending story. Oh God, where do I even begin? I used to have black hair before I decided to become a writer. Okay, no, I used to have gray hair. Then I had kids, it went white, and then I decided, what the heck, I'll just start writing. But there are actually all kinds of stresses. You've got one voice in the back of your head all the time telling you you can't do it. Stephen King probably has that. J.K. Rowling probably had that. I will bet that I'm pretty sure Ernest Hemingway had that. That's why he was always finding ways to escape from it. Harper Lee, Truman Capote. You get me any author that's worth anything. Give me a few minutes to talk to them, and one of the first things they will say is, yes, there is that voice telling me, oh, this isn't going to work. What are you doing this for? You learn how to just let that voice chatter and ignore it. That's the first stress you're going to deal with. And then finding the time to write, disciplining yourself to stick with that time. These are some practical stresses. And then you get into the more esoteric ones, like, what am I going to write about? I have a fantastic idea and this sounds great, and then you start outlining it and it really couldn't carry itself past the third or fourth chapter. And then you get in there and you realize that you probably should have paid an awful lot more attention in English class than you did, and you're having a hard time putting the whole thing together. And then polishing it, and then going through the editorial process where somebody's going to go through and say, okay, this doesn't work, this needs to come out, and they're basically taking apart your baby. Then getting it to an editor, having the editor get it to a publisher, self-publishing, getting recognition, getting reviews. Hint, hint, there are several books of mine on Amazon. The more reviews I get, the better it gets listed. Just, you didn't hear that from me. Writer's block. When you start writing and all of a sudden you have no idea where you're going to go with this. You have absolutely no inspiration. You have no motivation. You have nothing going on. If you're just getting out, you have a little bit of cushion because you'll probably have a full-time job or another source of income where you don't have to rely on these little printed things being the things that fill your refrigerator or keep your lights on. If, on the other hand, you have crossed that divide where you are now basing your income and subsistence on your writing, you have an additional stress. How am I going to make my deadline? How am I going to, make my editor happy? How am I going to do this? That's going to come with every single job, every single career, every single hobby or interest you're going to pursue. I wish there was some way I could tell you to avoid all that. There isn't this side of a coma. What I would do is when you start to get so stressed, give yourself a break. Get up, walk around, get a glass of water, listen to some music, reread what you've done. Get back to your happy place when you get excited about your project, when you get excited about what you wanted to do. Recapture that joy and get back in the fight. It's going to be worth it. And yes, there's going to be plenty of stressors. Like I said, this side of a coma, you're not going to find anything without any. So don't sweat the small stuff. And remember, most of it really is small stuff. Good luck.